All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the RDK open source software project. And before I get into some of the details, the RDK is basically a whole home software platform for video and broadband devices. As you can see, the RDK integrates down to the SOC level, and it allows operators to make cool UIs, new services, applications on top. That's its core mission. And it spans across video devices, which are IP-based, QAM-based, or hybrid. It goes into broadband and IoT devices. That's gateways, routers, and modems. And we're extending into Wi-Fi mesh networks, cameras, and other IoT devices. So that's just a little overview of what it is. And then the question we always get is, why do people like the RDK? Why do operators adopt the RDK? And there's a couple of core themes. And one is they always call it freedom. And so it's freedom, control, however you want to look at that. And it allows the operator to manage the devices and the software as they desire on their timeframes. They determine the device specs, what version of software goes on the device, and when they upgrade. And it's very, very positive for the operators. And that's one of the key features. The next one is time. And time originally started with the objective of reduce the time it takes to integrate a new device onto a new chip. And that's been achieved where the operators are giving us feedback that that has been reduced down to a third of what was deemed as the legacy time. Very positive for the operators. And now the operators, when they look at time, they also look at innovation. And so they look at transitioning to an agile software development methodology in their company, and they've also transitioned to a DevOps product and network management. And so they really like the time that the RDK platform brings. The next one is open. It's open source. It's a $0 software license. Everybody in the ecosystem gets the same software. The SOC company, the OEM, the operator, the UI company, the application company, and they can all work in an open source format on the vertical code that's being put out into the operator. And they really, really like that. Also, with the community is working on common opportunities and problems. Just to show that it's working quite well, we have working groups which include both Intel and Broadcom in the same working group putting out code that everybody gets to use. So it's really, really taken a cool format in the community that's there. The last one is the data. This is kind of a secondary thought process for a lot of operators, but it is really transformed into the primary objective. Because the RDK has an open source, real-time data communications protocol in the video and the broadband profiles that bring data back to the operator that allow them to manage their networks better. It allows them to manage their devices, when they download software, how they do it, and even the product development. And the operator owns the data. And that's the key. No one else gets that data. That's their data. And so it's very, very powerful. Next, some of the stats that people always ask us about the RDK. How's it doing? Where's it going? And see, these are some of the new stats that we do like on an annual basis. So there are over 40 million devices deployed today. And there are over 350 technology companies in the community. This is really, really cool. The ecosystem is really, really coming along. And code downloads. The reason we put that there is the RDK is an open source project. And one of the methods that they judge or view open source projects are how are people using it? Are people actively using the repository? And we have over 4 million clones of the software per month with the RDK, which is really, really cool. And the last one here is operators deployed. We don't speak for the operators. You're going to have a couple talk today. But publicly, there are over 10 key operators that have announced an RDK-based solution that they're deploying. The next slide, I just thought I'd leave you with this. There's a couple of additional benefits that operators give us feedback about the RDK. One of them is because it's open source, they really use it as a catalyst to change their culture. Their engineering groups And once you get into an agile software development, that also includes your product development, and you can go into a DevOps model. Very, very powerful. We have the devices, because RDK is a standardized software platform for multiple devices, multiple SOCs, multiple OEMs. The operator can now focus on a common UI, common new applications, and common services that go across their ecosystem. So that's another real cool one. New services. An example of this is broadband. So traditionally, operators used to sell speed for internet connection, but now they're selling Wi-Fi management, Wi-Fi connectivity, IoT interfaces, mesh interfaces, home security cameras. And the RDK, because it's a common software platform, allows that to easily be expanded. And then the last one is the customer experience. The RDK itself probably doesn't solve this, but it's part of it. Because of the RDK and the data you can come take back to the operator real time of what's going on, and the new UIs, a lot of operators are telling us they're seeing dramatic increases in the Net Promoter Score from their customers of a legacy solution versus an RDK-based solution. So with that, I will then turn it over, I guess, back to David. And into the next speaker.
And just so you know, there's going to be a Q&A at the end after the 3 presentations.
Thank you.
But by way of introduction, Steve is president of RDK and also Comcast, the VP, SVP?
We're here for RDK.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Thanks.